What is going on, guys, and welcome into the video. I think we can all agree the stock market is just ridiculous at this point. I mean, great earnings and stocks go down. Record everything, they go down, and okay earnings and a stock soars 20%. But then again, solving world hunger might send your stock down 20% too. No matter what anyone does, stocks just make 0 cents right now. So I have to be straight up with you guys right now today. I just sold this EV stock on Thursday, and man, does it honestly hurt to do it, but I have to be upfront with you guys and give you all the information on the why, and I will also tell you the shocking place I put the money as well, and the why behind that, and it helps that I'm up almost 20% already as of recording time of this video. So I guess you could say the move kinda worked out even if it's not gonna be popular. I just ask in exchange for you to gently tap that like button and consider subscribing too. It's super easy to do if you like the truth without the hype and if you're actually enjoying the content. And just double check your subscription for me, as around 30% of my regular viewers are not subscribed, and about 80% of all of you guys out there that are subscribed don't have notifications turned on for this channel, which means YouTube may not show you my videos at all. I hope YouTube is listening and actually trying to correct this, but for now, doing that will really help me out a bunch. So let's walk through the 5 considerations I personally take into account before selling any stock, as we need to add this context to kind of understand the why behind everything that went on last week. So first, what was the long-term plan with the stock itself? I mean, are you making decisions based on price fluctuations or based on your plan? For me, most of my buys are long-term buys, and unless something fundamentally changes with the business itself, I usually do not have any interest in selling. Price movement and buying and selling around those are trading strategies. And I'm a long-term investor, so the fact that a stock is flat or down for an extended period of time is not enough by itself to have me sell a stock. I mean, Tesla traded flat for 6 years. Apple has traded flat for years at a time and even down for years at a time. And the same goes with Amazon and almost every other stock in the stock market over the long run. I'm an investor, not a trader, so I know that is kind of part of the journey overall, and a big year one year could mean a down or flat year the next year. So if a company's business is going like gangbusters, more revenue, improving margins, growing in every way, but the stock price is down, does that mean that I should sell? Stock price is never a good reason to sell unless you are trading. And if you are not trading, but the stock falls and you're thinking about selling, a question I would ask is, would you be looking to sell if the stock price was on a big run up instead of being way down? If the answer is no, then I know you are not following your plan, or you didn't have one to begin with, or you didn't do your due diligence in the first place, or you're just acting on emotions. Your upfront planning and then your continued refinement of your plan as time goes on should guide your decision to sell. It may be right and fit your plan to sell, or it may be emotions talking, but only a well thought out plan done without emotion can act as kind of the great mediator to help guide you. Not me, not any other YouTubers, not anyone else, no calculators, none of that other garbage like that. So on to number 2, and that would be, what has actually changed with the stock? And again, was there a fundamental change with the business or not? Did a key management team member leave that company? Did the guidance on earnings change your projections negatively? Is there a new regulation that will affect the bottom line? What fundamentally changed with the business? And maybe there was a fundamental change with the stock that may warrant a deeper look and ultimately might have you consider selling the stock. So that's an important piece that you got to look at, but you got to see, is it a fundamental change or not with the stock? And third, what is your plan after you sell? I mean, what are you going to put that money into? What are you going to do with those funds? Okay, so you decided something did change for you. Not a problem there at all. Or maybe you bought based on a hype channel, or you didn't know what you bought, or something else like that. Nothing wrong with any of those. But what are you going to do with the money next? I mean, what is your next stock to buy? What is the valuation for that stock and your full plan for that new stock to include entry and exit points? All of that needs to be worked out, or you will be in the same spot again if the stock doesn't rocket up like you think it's going to rocket up, or whatever you bought it based on. Are you going to sell and buy the dip, or try to time the crash that's coming according to some people? I mean, it was coming this summer, then it was, right around now, and then, next year, whatever. Are you trying to play that game? And then perhaps you got to ask yourself, are you engaging in market timing? Well, you honestly won't know until you plan it all out what you're going to do with that money. I planned this entire transaction out, start to finish, what I'm selling, what I'm going into, and kind of had the whole plan laid out before ever executing. And I even posted a video to my private group explaining the entire strategy before I did it, so they know exactly what was going on before it happened. And fourth, how will you react to the following scenarios? How will you react if you sell the stock now and it runs up well above your original average and, basically turns into a big gainer? How will you react if the stock you bought instead is just flat during that time, or even worse, it goes down? Will you be inclined to sell and try to buy back into the stock you sold originally? How will you react if they are both down for an extended period of time? I mean, are you just going to swear off the stock market forever? Is it all rigged or whatever the case is? Going through these thought processes before you do anything will help prepare you to deal with and plan for it, more importantly, no matter what actually happens. You will be prepared because you did all this work when emotions are not so high, so that when the situation happens and emotions are inevitably high, you have a solid plan to look at to keep emotions out and kind of make the right decision for you. And finally, number 5, did you just flat out make a mistake in the first place? Look, guys, we have all been there many times. There's not a single investor ever, I mean, unless you just started and don't know that you made a mistake yet, but there has not been a single investor ever who has not bought a stock for the wrong reason or just made a mistake in the first place. And heck, I did it just last year buying Sarepta, and although I did make a little bit of money because I was patient, the reality is it was a total mistake from the start that I have actually made that mistake before. I knew better than to buy, and I made the mistake anyways, but that just kind of happens. I went on ahead and did it anyways, even though I knew better. And I have been doing this for 20 years, and I have no excuses or reason for doing it. That was 100% on me. It was my mistake. So don't be afraid or freak out when you make a mistake. We all make them. It happens to us all. I know I will make them again, to be honest. And Warren Buffett says he makes them every year, and he has forgotten more than I could ever know about investing. Take responsibility for your mistake and don't compound it, and then do your full due diligence if you didn't do it to begin with, so you can plan out what you are going to do next and kind of basically move on. So what EV stock did I sell and what did I buy after that? Well, shockingly and surprisingly, I added a ton more shares of NIO at $9.69, despite having my position built out, and NIO is actually up over $11 at the time of this recording. I don't know what the exact percentage it will end up in, but I'll put it right there on the screen for you guys so you can see it. This is exactly what planning and execution is all about. I have been wanting to add NIO for some time to average down, which my average is probably down in the teens again now, and the delisting stuff is finally subsiding, as we discussed on this channel since last year, and I think the narrative that China is going to collapse is honestly kind of laughable as well, because it would take down the entire world economy, so I think everybody would kind of pitch in to help prevent that from happening. The Chinese government has the same tools that the US has for the most part, and there is a blueprint to survive exactly what is going on out there right now. Now, to be clear, I agree this is not right for everyone, and Chinese stocks are not right for everyone, especially if you do not understand the unique risk involved in those stocks. And I do not own nearly as much NIO as I own Tesla, for example. And I actually bought Tesla last week too, which just kind of started out more for fun with my group and something that was going on there. And then it actually fell and hit my price target on Friday, so I bought it for real that time. But to be clear, Chinese stocks are not right for everyone, and they do carry unique risk, which I mitigate by position size. But also, as we have discussed here many times, having your money loops going and consistently pouring money into the market during crashes is how you build long-term wealth, and despite all of my stocks being down, the overall balances across my portfolios is actually up. And a lot of that, I know guys, is due to Apple still holding strong, and the other part is the cash infused each week, which makes the percentage I was willing to risk on Chinese stocks go up, because the balance of my accounts essentially went up because of that. So I took the calculated risk to increase my position size in NIO and actually increase my position with several other stocks that I already had full positions on too, and I honestly have not bought those stocks in months. And obviously I took this time to also add more Tesla at 203, and great if it goes down to 180 or 140 or whatever, I'll continue to add a bunch to that stock as well. These were huge average downs in a lot of these cases while still maintaining the position size that I want. Again, this is all planned out and written out before ever executed on. So even if NIO isn't right for you or Tesla isn't right for you, there may be other stocks that you can use this method on. So what EV stock did I sell, since it obviously wasn't NIO or Tesla? Well, it's going to be a shocker for many of you guys that follow this channel at all, as it's one of my favorite all-time stocks. And it just shocked me when I saw it in my portfolio and how bad it was down, and that would be Nikola. That's right. I own Nikola as I bought it to do an April Fool's video like 2 years ago and forgot that I had it, so I was shocked when I saw it, and then I kind of laughed about it. It made for some fun in the group too when the sell alert went out, so hopefully you guys had a good laugh with it too, and lesson learned that I need to scrub my various portfolios closely for laggards like this so I can get rid of them a lot earlier than I did right now. So hopefully this was helpful, and if you don't know how to get a price target or how to do a valuation and want a step-by-step process for doing that, building wealth, and you want direct access to me and much more, remember to check out the pinned comment down below to become a member and at least look at everything you get. And click this video here for the stocks I'm still buying in this market, and click here for exactly what I'm doing to make huge money in this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.